It started with a simple disagreement over perfume, and ended with her saying goodbye for good. Tag a friend who needs to hear this. My boyfriend, 24M, threatened to break up over Miss Dior and now won't talk to me, 22F, because I laughed. Plus update. Hi everybody, my post got removed because I asked a yes-no question, but I really wanted to thank everybody for the sweet replies, good advice, and tough love, as I hadn't been able to thank you yet. I really appreciate you guys. The post I'm referring to is the following. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years now. Aside from some small bumps in the road, we have been in a very good place throughout the whole relationship. However, last night things escalated, over, in my opinion, something super dumb. But he thinks differently of that, and has now stopped talking to me. It started when we were in bed, he was gaming, and I was on my laptop looking to order a new perfume. Since I stopped my job, to focus on studying, I don't have as much income, so I decided to not get the expensive perfume I usually go for, which is Miss Dior. I thought it'd be better to find a body spray with a resembling scent. As he was looking over my shoulder, he asked me what I was doing, so I explained. He then reacted, saying I wore Miss Dior in our first period of dating, and it is my smell, and how it was one of the things that attracted him to me. I must admit, this made me a bit annoyed, because I'd rather get that perfume too, but it's just not responsible to do so right now. He started rambling on, how I care more about saving money, than I care about him. I said that's not true, but then he kept saying his hypersensitivity issues can't deal with adjusting to a new scent. I said I'd find a scent similar to my old one, but he wasn't content. At this point, he said he'd have to break up with me, if I would go for another scent. I found this hilarious, and thought he surely must be joking, so I laughed, which made him go silent. I let him be, because I was really annoyed, and we went to sleep. Now, he left early the next morning, and isn't responding to my texts or calls. I have no idea what to do, and I'm starting to doubt how I handled the situation. Any advice? Update. Wow, first of all, thanks everyone who gave me advice, and some tough love. I did not expect so many of you to help me, and definitely teared up at some of your replies. After I posted this, I was a bit of a mess, but after hours of ignoring me, he texted me late in the evening, and asked me to meet up, because he does not want us to be in a bad place. I really wanted to talk to him, at least to clear things up, so I went to his place. When I got there, he acted a bit disappointed still, but he did say he didn't want us to fight. I felt the same, but also took your advice to heart, the idea of letting him buy a bottle. However, for some context, I do think he might be on the spectrum, no diagnosis, but his dad is too, and it'd make sense, so I did want to show him that I care, and take his hypersensitivity seriously. Therefore, I decided to suggest we each pay half for a new Miss Dior, and then until that one would be finished, I'll make sure to do research to find a really good dupe. He was not as convinced, and told me it wasn't my birthday anytime soon. I explained that I understood, but we'd have to both compromise. Well, to quote his literal words, if you're such a feminist, you should be so financially, too. This got me fuming mad. I had no words, so this time I left. As per your advice, in the replies, I did some thinking about the rest of our relationship. I realized other things in our relationship that, at the time, didn't sit quite right with me, being some situations in which he is controlling and self-concerned, situations I always considered as little things he'd meant differently, or would learn from. I was wrong. You were right. I asked him to meet up today, and I dumped his ass. I feel terrible right now, but I know I'm better off. So, anyone have advice for a cheap, nice body spray? Would you leave over something like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments.